Hello! How are y'all? This is the
Oh,
Idle Musings of the Nerd Mind, and my co-host and just fantastic person is
bless you. Me!
girl. You better say your name. I swear.
It's Joy calling
Okay.
in from Austin, Texas.
Yay!
We
And
are.
then we have a special guest who we just adore and love,
We do. We
John.
missed him.
John,
Please
coming
tell
at
everybody about you, what's going on.
thanks. Yeah, it's my second time. So I'm a
Second
returning
time?
guest. Always glad to be here from I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
You!
Yeah,
Whoop,
this is the
whoop.
time.
NYC.
This lady's from New York, if y'all
Yes,
didn't know.
I am
So,
originally from
oh
the
my goodness.
I've lived in Austin too, so
What?
from both
Listen,
areas.
we all cross.
Well,
Rich
that makes
lived in Austin.
sense
UT
because
Austin.
of Brad.
Yeah,
That
UT
makes
Austin.
sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I
Awesome.
miss Austin. I miss Austin.
Hello,
So,
Richard.
okay, my birthday's coming up. I'll be there. Okay.
Okay, so here
Or
we are,
St.
everybody.
Petersburg, Florida. We'll see.
Mm,
Austin. It's gonna be Austin.
mhm. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right.
We're gonna get it done. So there you go. Okay, well, we are here, and John, should we dive into it and
Yeah, I mean,
talk
there's
about what's going on? You're a director, you know.
Tell us,
Yeah.
catch us on all that's going on in your
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
so I've been really caught up in the documentary filmmaking world over the last couple years now, and so now I'm working with this organization called Seeds of Wisdom,
Oh
and
wow.
we work with indigenous communities all around the world. So any native indigenous
Fantastic.
communities, and recently we went to Mexico and had a month-long trip through the whole country basically and visited some of our community partners out there, and I was filming the whole thing. So we're going to be coming out with a documentary series called Voices of the Indigenous, and it'll be like a 6-part series that'll start coming out next month. We'll release the first episode. Yeah, it's just basically showing the work that we do in these indigenous communities and how they live and the rights that they're still fighting for, and yeah, just giving you a little slice of how the indigenous are living, because we often forget about them. And so I've been really diving into that world. And I have another documentary shoot coming up in September where 2 tribes, North American tribes, are going to be doing a peace gathering. And so
Oh
it's a
wow.
major historical event, and
Nice.
I'll be documenting that. So yeah, just keeping busy with the documentary films.
What parts of the world are you like? What regions have you been going to?
So yeah, so we were in Mexico earlier this year, and then I'm going to be going up to Ontario, around the Toronto area for this tribal gathering.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
then in November, I'll be going to Kenya, and then we'll be visiting the Maasai tribes. And
Amazing.
they're an amazing tribe and a beautiful.
Oh my god.
So I'll be
Yes.
filming, them out there, and yeah, it's really amazing. I mean, there's nothing
Wow.
better, especially in the crazy times we're living in now, with dealing with AI and dealing with, the strikes that are going on in this kind of
Yeah.
unknown that we're heading into. It's nice to ground yourself, literally and figuratively ground yourself in very earth-based customs and tribes, and
Yeah.
and yeah, it gives you a sense of, we're going to be okay, because these people really know how to take care of the earth, and they know what matters. And so that's why it's so important to me as a filmmaker to put their voice out there and to tell their stories, just because I just think right now more than ever we kind of have to keep our feet planted on the ground, no matter what we do in the world with
Yes.
AI and all these other things that are happening.
Right. What's the name of the organization again? Seeds of
Seeds of Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram, on most of the major social media platforms, and then our website is seedsofwisdom.earth.
Love it.
And yeah. So
Love
you'll be seeing a lot more of our content coming out soon.
Great.
Oh my goodness, it's just amazing.
Taking notes. Love it. I love it. So what platforms are you like? Do you push things out through your Instagram, or do you have like a platform that you're?
Are you on Twitter or?
Yeah, we're on Twitter
or
also.
X
now. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, y'all, that's a whole conversation.
That's a whole other issue. Yeah. I don't know how much longer Twitter is going to be around, but
it's not. It's not.
X marks the spot. That was like the bullseye. Like.
Yeah. So we started a Threads too, but we have Twitter still, and we're going to be putting the long form versions of the episodes on YouTube, and then we'll probably put shorter clips on Instagram and the other social medias. But the main episodes will be on YouTube.
Very cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly like right now. I mean, I feel privileged to be able to still be working just because I'm part of the Writers Guild, and which we're striking right now. And obviously the screen actors are striking. So a lot of my friends and our industry is just shut down right now. We don't know when it's going to open back up. So really that's the story right now, I think, is just the fact that really there's this weird juxtaposition between the marketplace is doing well because Barbenheimer is happening and box office records are being broken, but the industry doesn't know how to move forward and it's shut down. Nothing's shooting. Nothing's really being written. So weird times.
So
have you been out there? Have you marched with them? You are a part of it.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. I've done a couple short tickets here in New York. We go every day. So I get a different schedule every day when and where we're going to be picketing. So New York, we've been really active here. And then obviously in LA, it's been crazy, but
my friends there, anyway.
What do they do?
Where, in LA or New York or both?
They're in LA. I have my LA friends and they're out there, and some of them they're like, I don't know how I'm going to eat.
It's real. And these are really expensive places to live as well. So it's just like.
Right. Healthcare. How am I going to pay for my house, my rent, all of it, my car payment, all of it. And I have those friends. And John, I don't know if you know, I used to do it in Austin, and I had an agent, and I was an actor there, and I did, print work. I was on the stage and doing musicals and all of it.
Wow.
It didn't pay, but anyway. No, but I loved it, and if I could have kept doing it, I would have did it. But you
can always go back.
Hey,
yeah,
you need to stop.
Oh, Richard, I think we're gonna do a musical.
Oh, I miss it. I miss it so much. That was such an amazing part of my world. Doing musicals, high kicks, and doing. Anyway, that was such a beautiful. Well, I mean, and Joy, Bobby. That's how I met her. We had the same agent. So, that was just
y'all speak on about like the folks that that are in the industry. Like, what are people?
Well, a lot of them are, and a lot of my friends in Austin. And Bobby, she was in Fear the Walking Dead. Because when they were filming there in Austin, I was just like, girl, why did I have to see you on screen? Why didn't you call me? It was, I don't know. It's amazing. But right now, what's going on, anyway, I just want to say we're with the writers and we're with the actors.
Of course.
And we're here. I'm trying to figure out how to do the different links so people can donate money and what have you. But this is insane.
Yeah,
This
we
is crazy.
don't know how long it's going to last, too. I mean,
how long do you think it's going to last, John?
well, they're predicting that it could last until the fall, late fall, winter, before they get a deal. So if that happens, there's like a cascading set of events that'll probably happen. So you're going to start to see movies get delayed. You're already seeing movies get pushed because the movies that we're shooting now that got stopped are supposed to come out next summer, and they're not shooting right now. And the longer this takes, like if they don't come up with a deal and people can't start shooting again, then they're not going to have movies to release next year. So we're really of this next year on streaming and in the theaters, which sucks because we're just rebounding now, finally, from the pandemic, you know, and it's self-imposed, but it's necessary because I think a lot of these studios got used to the way things were operating in the pandemic, and a lot of actors were taking upfront pay, actors and writers too. Everybody was looking for content to get made, and so they were paying writers and actors actually a lot of money, but they retained all the rights and there was no residuals or anything. And they wouldn't let anybody know what the numbers are, so they can't like let you know. Like Netflix is really secret with the streaming numbers. So that
I was about to say
something's a huge hit, people on that show might not be getting paid. You know what I mean? So that's why the writers and actors are putting their foot down now, because they're saying, look, you know, we can't survive anymore on these deals, and we need to be paid residuals based on how popular these streaming shows are and movies are. We need to be paid accordingly, you know, and it's just weird because they think that like Netflix, I hate to pick on them, but they're the main ones who started all this.
They're the main one.
Yeah, they kind of changed everything, but at the same time, they can't act like they invented television. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you.
They think that they invented it, and like, no, this we made this. This is ours. Like, they're acting like they don't need actors and they don't need writers, and that they shouldn't be fairly compensated. You know,
right?
So it's just an existential moment for the whole industry.
Main issue.
I mean, how? If I can ask you, how is this affecting you?
Me personally?
Yeah, like right now, how is all of this affecting you? Because this is insane.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, but like I said before, I'm in a lucky position right now. Like, for instance, the Directors Guild signed a quick deal, and many of the people that are in the industry who are writers and who are directors, and not so much maybe the actors, but if you work in multiple fields, you can still work in those capacities. So that's why you're seeing directors being able to go out there and still like, promote their work and stuff. Me personally, I can still edit and I can still shoot documentary stuff that I'm shooting. So luckily it hasn't affected me in that way, where I'm not being paid and I'm having to stop working or stop a production. So fortunately, it's not affecting me in that way, but it'll affect us all soon because we all go to the movies and we all watch, you know, what's coming out. So
exactly. And I know you want to talk about the Barbenheimer phenomena that we're in the midst of, and we're gonna like y'all. Richard and I still haven't seen either movie. Do not judge us, okay?
You know what? Just talk about it because we've already like done this on other shows. It's like, guess what?
Yes.
Spoilers. Just expect it. Just do it.
Yeah.
You don't like it, don't watch it. But they do. People do.
John thankfully has seen.
I've seen them both twice each.
Oh, listen, that says a lot.
What?
That says a lot. That says so much. Okay, twice each. Okay, y'all.
Yeah.
Listen
Spill it.
How? I mean, honestly, like, I'm a huge Nolan fan, so I had to, you know.
Me too.
And then I, with a couple friends of mine, we planned to do Barbenheimer, so we secretly think that it was our brainchild. Like we came up with it. We were probably the first people to have that thought. Like, we should watch these back to back, you know. But I'm sure everyone thought that. So a long time ago, we planned to, you know, get our tickets, So those we did it back to back, and then I watched them both individually also. So
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm up to
Which
speed.
order? Does everyone? What's the appropriate order to watch them?
Okay, so this is a really interesting topic, and I'm glad you brought that up because there's a lot that goes into it. Personally, going into it, before I'd seen either one of them, we assumed let's watch Barbie first and then end with Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah.
Like start light and fun, and then end heavy and like dark and with the existential dread, you know.
Right. It's the other way around. Right.
That wasn't the right way to do it.
Was not.
Right. It's the other way around.
Okay.
The other way around.
Let's end on a high.
That.
If you guys, if I were to recommend how to do it, I would say, because honestly, they're both heavy in their own way. You know what I mean? It's not like
that's true
and just fun.
Right.
I went with my girlfriend, and she walked out of that theater, and she was a different person. Like she was shook after she saw Barbie, and I was just like, that must have been what I looked like after Matrix. After I saw the Matrix for the first time.
Oh my god!
It was a moment for her, you know.
You're like, wow, okay.
And I loved Barbie too, and I thought it was incredibly deep. But it had multiple things going. It had a surface level thing it was doing. It had layers to it, which was really fun. So you when you watch Barbie and you're hit by it, it is a lot to then go into a 3-hour movie. So I would say start with Oppenheimer like around noon.
Yes,
I would say.
Okay.
And then
all right.
Dinner, have some drinks, like think about it for a couple of hours.
Listen, give your brain a break. Yes.
Right. Go to Alamo Draft House. Just go. Right. Just go.
Ooh. And then continue on with Barbie.
Right.
Okay.
But beyond that, because I love the whole Barbenheimer phenomenon and everything, but like really you should just watch one movie per day. I would recommend
that is what I will be doing.
Oh my goodness.
I don't recommend them back to back. And I think that's more because Oppenheimer is the movie that it is, but also because Barbie is a lot too, you know. But Oppenheimer is a 3-hour dense, historical, scientific, very layered piece of work too. So I would watch them each on their own day and really like stew on them for a while on their own.
Wow.
That is solid advice. I really I appreciate that. Yes.
I do want to ask, have you seen that a lot of gay men have been going to the theater and just taking over the theater?
Like for Barbie? Was that
Yes.
Yes.
You best be believing. Like my friends are just like, we're at Barbie! And they're just like, and I'm like, oh my Lord.
Even more reason to go. That is gonna be so fun.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God. It's fantastic.
It's a movie for everyone. It's for everybody.
Right.
Except for the
it is for everybody, but I think the gay boys kind of, you know, they just kind of love their, you know, Ken, Barbie. Hell, someone got me an Angel Princess Barbie and Peach. I'm like, you know, they're just like, oh, Richard. I'm like, you know, I don't collect Barbie. I collect Transformers and G.I. Joe and He-Man. What are you doing? Why?
Don't change your life.
That's
you know, but it's I in the gay community, I cannot even believe like how crazy it is right now. And people are just like, all right, all 15 of us are gonna go see Barbie tonight. And I'm like, all right. Take pictures.
Honestly,
I'll be there.
It's super inspiring, to be honest. I mean, it's one of those moments where it makes you happy. I mean, just speaking from my personal perspective, when I was just seeing everybody dressing up, going to the theater and making it an event. It reminds you why it's so important, you know, because it's
Right.
the last few things we do as a community together with people we don't know. And we put our phones away for the most part. We put our phones away, you know, and we're engaged in the same thing at the same time. And they're smart things. They're really smartly well written, you know, well thought through pieces of art. And so it really reminds you, like, you know, this is like the pinnacle of culture right now, and it's smart. People want to come out and celebrate it, and it leaves you feeling better, even though one of them is about kind of one of the worst things we've created as a humanity. Still, as just pure art is concerned, and the discourse around it, like it really reminds you we're in a really good place right now, and we have a lot to be thankful for.
And it's great that, honestly, that seems like the first time in several years that we've actually seen a push like this for people actually going to the theaters, you know, because there was a lot of films that have been pushed out, and then the studios are all sad because they didn't get the turnaround, and they're blaming streaming and all this. But you're like, but if y'all do it right, listen, people still want to engage in this way. We still want
exactly. And you know, it gets really interesting because this ties back to what we were just talking about with the strike and with Netflix and everything. So Greta Gerwig, you know, she's the queen. Like, she can write her own check, do whatever she wants. Broken every record left and right.
Seriously. Boom.
And it's only her third film.
All the snaps.
But the thing is she already has her next deal signed, and it's with Netflix to do Narnia, to do some Narnia.
Another Narnia or continuation of Narnia. Listen, I'm all like,
it's another one. It's going to be.
It's another one.
But honestly, like, part of me has a sinking feeling about that, because it's like, not only does Netflix is not committed to theatrical at all. Like they don't care about
that. Is so true.
They're on the record, you know, of saying, like, we don't care about theatrical. That's not our model. So what I don't understand, I mean, I know money talks, but a lot of really great filmmakers don't seem to care either about theatrical, because they see the dollar signs and like, okay, I'm signing up. Maybe Greta Gerwig has some other closed door deal she made where she said, please release this in theaters, but they haven't really shown that to this point. But I can't see how Netflix execs could look at what Barbie's doing in movie theaters and be like, yeah, we're going to take that director who is about to make $1 billion+ worldwide theatrical, and just tell her, make Narnia. We're just going to put it on everyone's TV for free. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but my question is this: how many Netflix movies seriously have actually been in the theaters, and not just on streaming?
There's a handful.
Okay.
The biggest examples we can really point to are The Gray Man. Do you remember that Ryan Gosling action?
Yes. That
was in theaters for like literally 1 week, I think.
Right?
Yeah, it was like a week. They did 1 week, and then remember The Glass Onion, Ryan Johnson's movie?
Yes.
Out.
Right.
That was theaters. That they were generous, and they put it in theaters for like 14 days or 14 days, 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
And it did really, really well. Like, it was
of course it did. That's a great movie. Anyway, all of them.
I mean, that could have made really good money if it had stayed in the theater. The thing that I think all the other companies are realizing that are losing money with their own streaming platforms, like Disney Plus and Paramount Plus and Max, they didn't get the subscribers that they wanted. They couldn't compete with Netflix's subscriber count. And what they realized was, when they were releasing movies right away on streaming, they were diminishing the value of the product. So if a movie comes out in theaters and it becomes this cultural thing, iconic thing, it only becomes that in a movie theater. You know, some things can go viral and be spread really quickly on streaming. But they don't become like in the zeitgeist unless they're in the movie theater. So when you release it on streaming, finally, it's a bigger hit on streaming because it was already got all this free press when it was in theaters doing really well. So, you know, they've got to figure out that balance of how long do we put it in theaters before we release it. You know? So hopefully they do that with Narnia, because Greta Gerwig deserves it now.
It'd be interesting to see what they do.
Proven
Yeah.
herself. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, the
but John,
turnaround for sure is
I'm
super
sorry,
quick.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And just you're just feeling
No,
like
go,
it's so fast
go.
that I feel like, all right, I'll just wait
I'll
because
just
I know
wait.
it's gonna be streaming right like next week. Like, why am I gonna go to the theater? Although for certain things I'm like, you gotta see it on the big screen for sure. It makes a big difference. But like certain things I'm like, wow, it's already streaming, like it was just out like 2 weeks ago.
Seriously.
So,
Totally. I mean, sometimes they have to weigh like how well it's doing too. So maybe there's something that they can do where they just gauge like, is this thing playing really well? Let's extend it and keep it going, because like Top Gun last year, for instance, that stayed in theaters.
Gosh.
That was in theaters for I think 8 months before they put
it
it
was
on
for a
streaming.
long time.
Like
my friends were like, I've seen it 14 times. I was like, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Loved it.
So Barbie, it'll be the same. Oppenheimer and Barbie, it'll be the same. You won't see those on streaming until like winter.
Yeah, we're gonna wring all of the cash out of this. Get all of it.
But if it's not doing that well, so for instance, Mission Impossible, they picked a bad release date for Mission Impossible 7.
Oh, that's true.
So they got swallowed.
Why? Why was it bad?
Like, yeah, I forgot about
but
that.
Why was it bad?
The thing is the movie was actually decent. I thought it was
and
good.
It's part 1 of 2, right?
It's part 1 of 2. So people were like, I don't know if I want to watch a part 1. I'll wait, But mainly, I think it was because it came out a week before Barbenheimer. So I think people now they only go to the movie theaters like 2 or 3 times a year. Most people.
Yeah.
So they're gauging like, look, we're definitely going next weekend for Barbenheimer, so we won't go. We can afford to miss Mission Impossible 7. Like we saw 5, we saw 6. We
that is valid. Listen, the fact that you brought it up, I forgot that Michelle was like,
there we go.
Mission Impossible. And then I was like,
totally disappeared. So if they had released it, imagine if they released it in like August. August is a pretty open month. They release in August, they get all the screens to themselves. No competition. But Tom Cruise, I think, was riding high off Top Gun last year, and there was going to be this sort of rolling effect from Top Gun into Mission Impossible 7 that didn't really bear fruit. I mean, it didn't happen for it, unfortunately. So that's a situation where maybe Paramount does release it earlier on streaming than they plan to, because I'm sure Tom Cruise was like, we're not releasing Mission Impossible 7 on streaming for 8 months, just like last year with Top Gun. But now, like, people aren't really watching it in theaters anymore. And so you might as well release it on streaming while it's still in people's minds. So you have to be flexible.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you about this. So you remember that they released Wonder Woman
1984.
Yeah. And you heard about how they did it, which was very much like, oh no, you will pay us up front. You will give us this much money. And oh my God, they made so much money. Like Wonder Woman, and also Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
They made so much freaking money.
You mean the actors?
Patty Jenkins, the director, and what's her name?
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, thank you. They made so much freaking money, but this is during the pandemic, and they're just like this. They didn't take their crap. They're just like, renegotiate. This is streaming, because a lot of the companies were like, what is streaming? It's not in the movie theaters and stuff like that. So it's like, you're supposed to make this money in the movie theater, and what have you, but it doesn't say streaming.
Yeah.
And I love how Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot were like, no, thank you. And the same thing happened with Black Widow.
Right.
I was going to say, she was not having it.
But who did she get behind her? She got the Russo brothers.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh no, this is our lady. And wow. And can we, bring it back to, is this what's going on a part of it with the strike right now,
Yeah.
with streaming, and with writers
Contract
and actors
Yeah.
getting residuals, actors getting residuals, and probably even the writers.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a brilliant point you're bringing up, and that's kind of what I was talking about when I mentioned that a lot of writers and actors and directors actually did make a lot of money during the pandemic because the deals right now aren't structured for residuals. So these companies do have to kind of fork over a lot of money up front because they're like, yeah, we're not paying. There's no back end pay. And if it's not going to come out in movie theaters, Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot had and Scarlett Johansson, they had money on the back end they were supposed to make from the box office.
Oh, yeah.
How much money
absolutely
had Wonder Woman and Black Widow just come out in a normal climate, a movie theater climate, So what they were angry about, and this more applies to Warner Brothers and HBO Max with Wonder Woman than it does Black Widow, because Scarlett Johansson's situation was different because they did release the movie in theaters for a few weeks before they put it on Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah, they just put it on Disney Plus fast. They put it
real fast.
They put it like 3 weeks after it came out in theaters. So Scarlett Johansson
I didn't know that.
Like,
okay.
She got a full theatrical run, and I lost money. So she did really well on that because she did make a little bit of the box office that it made, which wasn't as much as it would have made if it hadn't been. But with Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, now this is kind of sad. Like, Warner Brothers really messed up because I think that they really compromised a lot of their movies that year when they were released on HBO Max right away.
You're not lying.
Like, they could have. Like, Dune, honestly, Dune is the only movie that survived that. Like, Matrix 4 got swallowed whole.
Yes. Oh my God.
Also because there was another Omicron wave and nobody was going to go to the theater. And then with Wonder Woman, that was a real shame because that's the type of movie I think that would have played better for critics and audiences if they saw it in the movie theater first. But since everybody saw it on streaming first, and I think this was the same with Matrix, people were like, yeah, whatever. And I don't think it was as good as the first one, but I don't think it was as bad as everybody made it out to be. But because they saw it on their TV, it was like, whatever. It was anticlimactic, right? It was like, we saw it on our TV. We're over it already. And so even though Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins got thank for that isn't worth the franchise being ended there.
Right.
Because like that basically ended their relationship. They all got soured on Warner Brothers. Wonder Woman 3 fell apart. They just didn't want to work together anymore. And Chris Nolan left Warner Brothers too. So it's kind of a sad story over there with how that all played out. Like, what I think they should do is because the Flash bombed.
Y'all, I was shocked. I was so shocked.
It was a shocking.
We had high hopes. Our hopes were so high.
It was supposed to do remember the Batgirl movie that was supposed to come out?
Which one?
The Batgirl. Remember
they canceled it straight up and wrote it off.
Yep.
That would have made more money if they released it in theaters for Warner Brothers.
Bam.
That's how bad the Flash did. Like, guaranteed Batgirl would have made money for them. So they made a lot of mistakes. I think that they should call Patty Jenkins, apologize to her, and tell her do whatever the fuck you want with Wonder Woman 3. Like,
thank you.
Just make it, because they deserve it. Wonder Woman 1. They should be able to do whatever they want. Even if people think they dipped with 84, they should be able to finish their trilogy their way.
But you know what? And some people are going to say this is like, it was horrible. I don't think it was as bad as certain people said it was.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It had Joy's boyfriend in it.
Pedro?
Chris. Yeah.
He does want that boyfriend. Okay. He don't know it yet. He will. No. Me and like a million.
I'm just saying. But it was a good movie. I felt it was a good movie. You know?
I think it was good too. I just think that people.
Did you? Okay, cool. Awesome.
I liked it. I just knew that it wasn't going to be as well received as the first one. And
of course, yeah.
People were caught off guard because the tone shifted and it became kind of more like
that
Dawn or Superman movies. It was like earnest and fun and funny and 80s vibe. And I think that kind of caught people off guard. I liked that vibe.
I'll be honest, y'all. I didn't see it because I listened to other people, and so
Yeah.
now
Don't.
y'all, and I will actually check it out now. And and my boyfriend's in it, so I need to support him, obviously.
Well, I will say this. I'm sure y'all have seen it. I am all about physical media and buying it and getting it. I have
your
it.
Post in our group. Okay, I was like, ooh, Richard. Is
Oh no! Say it again. I couldn't.
I saw that you posted something on our Facebook group about your Blu-ray or something you were trying to purchase and it wasn't available. Tell me.
So this is what happened. Okay.
Wow.
I'm about to break it down. Okay. Freaking WandaVision.
Yes, that's right.
They're gonna give you like this beautiful case, and then you go to a link, and then you get it on streaming.
Are you serious?
I'm like this. What?
What?
I need this. You better give me my disc. You better give me my disc, or I'm coming hunting you down. Okay.
Ooh. Why are they making the whole case that's empty?
No.
I don't.
A freaking link, like in a beautiful, gorgeous 10. It's like a 10, what have you, and they're just like, oh, but physical media is not in there. I'm like, who wants to get in a fight? My name's Richard. Come here. It's about to happen. I mean, you don't do that.
Yeah,
you don't do it.
They're still playing us. Yeah, they haven't put Prey. Remember Prey, the Predator movie from last year? That's not on physical media yet either. People are waiting for the Blu-ray for that.
Okay, but they're not going to do that, I hope. To have like a beautiful case.
And then a link.
That makes no sense.
And a link. That's all you get.
That's ridiculous.
That's what you get.
Was there at least a QR code or something on there?
Piece of paper? It's nothing. Okay.
It just it hurt my feelings. And I was just like, I don't want it.
And he was all excited. Could you see Richard? He's like doing the unboxing and he's like, ooh. Then he's like, rage.
So there's no media for any Marvel show?
What'd you say, John? Sorry.
There's no physical media for any Marvel shows or what?
No.
Wow.
None. I was so excited because it's like, oh, it's coming out, and the freaking box and all of that. But I went back and looked at it, and I was like, oh shit, they never said physical, media. And I'm like, okay. It made me mad because I really want Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I really want that so badly.
Yeah.
So I will watch that over and over and over again.
You know why they're not doing it, right?
Say it again.
You know why they're not doing it?
Why?
Because
why?
They're worried about Disney Plus. Because that hasn't really been making them as much money as they hoped. And they think that if people start ordering the physical media of the shows they like that are on Disney Plus exclusively, they'll just cancel their Disney Plus plan.
Really?
The logic is not there. I'm gonna go Spock on them. It's like that's their logic is flawed.
I know.
That doesn't make no sense.
That
I I watch it
That's
on
a
Disney
little
Plus. I
insane.
really like it, and I also I would like to.
They want you to pay a monthly fee so you can keep watching the shows you love. They don't want you to get it on physical media, even though it looks way better on physical media, obviously.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Good point.
And yes. And guess what? When you ain't got no internet, you're like this.
That part, exactly.
Still got it.
You know, you're taking the kids on a long drive. Listen.
Yep.
See, I'm thinking about like Daredevil. I'm like, don't you show children that. Don't you show no kids that. That ain't right. That's that. I see you, Joy.
I'm talking about myself.
I see you. But I will say this though, I have like Jessica Jones. I've got Daredevil. I have this, and it was all on Netflix. And
right,
I just don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it that Disney Plus is doing this. Are they going to do the exact same thing with the new X-Men that's coming out, the animated X-Men? Or are they just going to be like, nope,
Richard,
we're not putting it out?
Start writing your letters. It's
Probably. I wouldn't hold your breath. Yeah.
Start your letter writing campaign. And it's like, this Richard, he keeps writing us letters.
But you know who I am. Well, I'll just go up there and be like this. Hi.
Like, I'm going to just show up, right?
They're going to be like, just give it. Go print it. Go print it right now. Give it to him and get him out of here. But I will say this much, though. Yeah. My friends who are completists like me, pirated copies.
That is real.
Yep.
It's a thing.
Are they HD and 4K or?
4K.
Cool.
Listen, and you know New York is notorious for some bootleg, everything.
Well, I'm probably gonna get arrested, but my dad's a police officer who's retired. So guess what? Go through him first.
Okay.
Right.
For WandaVision bootleg.
That's right. I like the bootleg though in New York, the bootleg movie videos, because they'll have it where the person, you see people getting up in the theater, walking across, and you're like, what the?
Well, that's what streaming has been great for bootleggers, because they get great versions on the internet.
See?
It's great for them.
That's juicy.
You just said it. You just said it, and it's a little insane right now. Because, okay, I'll say it. I love Poltergeist, The Legacy. All right, I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I love it. It doesn't show up well nowadays. It's dated. It's dated, but anyway, we're gonna leave it there. That and Beauty and the Beast. Be quiet. So anyway. But what did I have to do?
Right. To get it.
I'm just saying.
You're incriminating yourself, listen. You don't have to say another word. I'm your lawyer. Don't say another word. Don't say another.
Hey, Tom's a lawyer. So I'm doing okay between my dad and Tom. I'm good. So, but it's just like anyway. Okay, I'm gonna stop after this. Why are you doing this? Oh, and let's go into the different streaming companies, and they have different versions of different things. Yeah. Like, God, what I posted it. What was the movie? Was it? It wasn't Scarface, was it? It was.
That had a different version?
They had a different version of it. That it showed one version on the streaming network,
Yeah.
and if you went to another streaming network and you watched it, completely different.
Yeah.
Certain things. I mean, not like overtly like, oh
Right.
my god, this is so horrible, or what have you, but they did it. And it's about the, different licenses and all
Right.
that good stuff. Anyway,
Yeah. I mean, imagine Blade Runner. There's so many different versions of that.
that was one of them.
Yeah.
That was one of them. And it was insane. It's like, what license does this streaming network have? And which version are they going to show you? And can you see a different version on another streaming platform? Anyway,
right,
but
you have to have all of the streaming platforms, which is alright. So now we're back to like paying all the money for all of
it's unsustainable, honestly. Like, I think they're gonna have to make some kind of bundled deal eventually. Where you pay for everything. Netflix will probably be able to stay its own thing because they've been around so long, but the rest of them, all the studios need to come together and just be like, look, we need a bundle.
They don't have enough content to like hold your interest, most of them. I'm just kind of like, I'm here for one show and then I'm out. Right?
But I mean, how does that like make you feel if you see one version and then you see another version? Because I'll tell you right now, I have oh god, what is it with Tom Cruise? Legend.
Oh, I love that movie.
I have it, and I have both versions, and they are so different. They are very, very different. I love Legend.
What are the different versions?
Yeah.
Is there director?
So there's the director's cut by Ridley Scott.
Okay.
And then there is the theatrical version. And they also did the same thing with the Wolfman with Guillermo. It's not Guillermo del Toro, but
Benicio.
Thank you.
Okay.
And they have two different versions, and damn, they're different. They are
interesting.
Unrated, my favorite, because it is.
I'm shocked.
Oh, you
still haven't seen that
movie. You stop it. It is off the hook. But anyway, Legend. Let's go back to Legend with Ridley Scott. But oh my god, it's different.
What are the differences?
So Tom Cruise meets like the witch in the swamp. And it's a lot longer versus the theatrical version, which is way shorter, and then he does what he does.
Is the extended version darker? Is it a darker?
Yeah, don't ruin
the director's version versus the theatrical version. It is a lot darker. Wow. It is because it's Lily. The princess, and it's about her and what she did and the repercussions of it. And I don't know. I absolutely
who has the
love
director's cut? That's so we need to let people know. Which streaming entity has the director's cut?
I don't know because I have physical media.
You know what? I'm gonna throw something at you. Where's my shoe?
Sorry.
Oh.
But that, gosh. Anyway, physical media. Support it. Dude. Oh my god. Anyway. All right. We've come to the end.
Wow, that flew by.
Huh?
That flew by.
It
always does. I swear. We need like this to do a part 2, I think.
Well, we
convince John to come back.
Well, now you have another, opportunity to bring Michael Sharp back, and
hey, we gotta get him. Yeah, we have to get him on here. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm sure it's
maybe a time zone thing.
Yeah, well, and he's a dad, and there's a lot of things that happen, sometimes. So,
Yes, sir.
anyway, John, you are always amazing,
Thank you.
John,
and
we
thank you
missed
so
you.
much.
Missed you guys too.
Yeah.
I'll be back at some point, I'm sure.
But
You know it. We'll harass you.
I did want to ask you, John, did you see Secret Invasion?
I haven't seen Secret Invasion yet. No.
We'll
Okay,
talk.
you and I need to talk after you watch it.
Okay.
Can I be on that conversation too, please?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll make
Yes,
sure to watch
ma'am.
it before next
We
time.
do. We need to talk.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it, Troy?
Yes. Of course.
Woo! Oh my goodness.
Anyway, another time. We
Yeah, no, that's another time. Look, I was about to go into it. I'm like, another time. That's another time. But John, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here, and thank you for letting us know how you feel about the strikes with the actors as well as the writers,
Yeah.
and what you're doing. You're
We can't wait to
fantastic.
see all of the footage that comes out from your documentary and all the amazing things that you're going to continue to do in your career when we are here to
Yes.
support you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Get down to Austin. You
He said it.
talk to this lady, and then I'll fly down and just be like, hey, we're going to
Nice.
support you.
For
So anyway, but thank you so much,
Thanks, guys.
and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye.